Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Syam Kund Radha Kund Giruvaran ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Mayapur Dham ki jai. Sri Jamuna Mai Ganga Mai Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premananda Haribol. Glories the Samudra devotees. All glories the Samudra devotees. All glories the Samudra devotees. Jai Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 16, Text 17 and 18. How Parikshit received the age of Kali. I'll read 17 and then we'll read 18 together. Tasyaivam vartamanasya parvesham vritim anvaham natidara kilascharyam yad asitan niborame. Now you may hear from me of what happened while Maharaj Parikshit was passing his days, hearing of the good occupations of his forefathers and being absorbed in thought of them. Text 18. Dharma padaikena charan vichayan upalabhaya gam prichati smasru varanam vivaisam vivatsam iva mataram dharma padaikena charan vichayam upalabhyagam prachati smasrubhadanam vivatsam iva mataram dharma padaikena charan vichayan vipalabhyagam prachati smasrubhadanam vivatsam iva mataram dharma padaikena charan vichayan upalabhyagam prachati smasruvadanam vivatsam iva mataram. Padaikena charan vichayan upalabhyagam vipati smasrubhadanam vivatsam iva mataram dharma padaikena charan vichayan upalabhyagam vichati smasrubhadanam vivatsam iva mataram dharma padaikena charam vicharam upalabhyagam ram vivatsam iva mataram. Matajis. Dharma Padaikena Charan Vichayan Upalabhyagam Pichati Smasru Vananam Vivatsamiva Mataram Dharma Padaikena Charam Ichayam Upalabhyagam Pichati Smasruvaranam Ivatsa Eva Mataram. Dharma, the personality of religious principles. Pada, leg. Ekena, on one only. Charan, wandering. Vichayam, overtaken by the shadow of grief. Upalabhya, having met. Gam, the cow. Pachati sma, asked. Ashruvananam, with tears on the face. Vivatsam, one who has lost her offspring. Eva, like. Mataram, the mother. Translation. The personality of religious principles, Dharma, was wandering about in the form of a bull, and he met the personality of earth in the form of a cow, who appeared to grieve like a mother who had lost her child. She had tears in her eyes, and the beauty of her body was lost. Thus Dharma questioned the earth as follows. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The bull is the emblem of the moral principle, and the cow is the representation of the earth, representative of the earth. When the bull and the cow are in a joyful mood, it is to be understood that the people of the world are also in a joyful mood. The reason is that the bull helps production of grains in the agricultural field, and the cow delivers milk, the miracle of aggregate food values. The human society, therefore, maintains these two important animals very carefully so that they can wander everywhere in cheerfulness. But at the present moment in this age of Kali, both the bull and the cow are now being slaughtered and eaten up as foodstuff by a class of men who do not know the Brahminical culture. The bull and the cow can be protected for the good of all human society simply by the spreading of Brahminical culture as the topmost perfection of all cultural affairs. By advancement of such culture, the morale of society is properly maintained, and so peace and prosperity are also attained without extraneous effort. When Brahminical culture deteriorates, the cow and bull are mistreated, and the resultant actions are prominent by the following symptoms. Dharma padaikena charan vichayan upalabhyagam prachati smasruvaranam vivatsam ivamataram. The personality of religious principles, Dharma, was wandering about in the form of a bull, and he met the personality of earth in the form of a cow who appeared to grieve like a mother who had lost her child. She had tears in her eyes, and the beauty of her body was lost. Thus Dharma questioned the earth as follows. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksur Unmiritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. So here, the Brahminical culture is being glorified. Before Srila Prabhupada came here to the West, he gave a lecture in the late 50s, early 60s in India. And the lecture was all about cultural conquest. And of course, once Srila Prabhupada came, he was encouraging us always that just like this conquest of Alexander the Great or different great leaders, that this Krishna consciousness movement will conquer. As a matter of fact, on a train ride with the devotees from the Kumbh Mela to Bhubaneswar in the middle of January 1977, Srila Prabhupada told the devotees that this period of time, historians will note how the world has changed by cultural conquest, by Krishna conscious culture, Brahminical culture. He told the devotees that by Krishna conscious art, Krishna literature, Krishna prasadam, the chanting of the holy names, so much beautiful deity worship. All of this, all of these cultural weapons are how the historians will note that the world was changed. The first time in the history of the world that Vedic culture, Krishna conscious culture, Brahminical culture has spread all over the world. What a great time period. And this was Prabhupada's mission, he said so many times, by cultural conquest. That this culture of Krishna, the culture of Vedic culture, Krishna conscious culture, not only that we adhere to it, but that we give everyone the opportunity by distributing Srila Prabhupada's books, by distributing prasadam, and by distributing the holy names, that we give this culture, this beautiful culture, to everyone all over the world, every class of men. Because this age is a very dark age where there's no culture. They just had their celebration the 4th of July. They have their picnics, and they had one humongous sporting event. It's been going on for years and years and years. The hot dog eating contest. They have a contest from people come from all over the world that they see how many, this is the culture that we live in America, that we're supposed to be proud of. They're taking the cow and seeing how many they can stuff down their throat in 10 minutes or 12 minutes. I think the record is 74. But this is actually sick and sad. And therefore, it is stated in the Vedic literatures, Yada deveshu vedeshu, goshu vipreshu sarushu, dharma mayi chavidvesha sava asu vanasyati. Whenever there is a disrespect, yada vedeshu yada deveshu vedeshu, for the demigods, for the Vedic literatures, yada deveshu vedeshu goshu, for the cow, vipreshu, for the brahmanas, sarushu, for the saintly devotees, dharma, for religiosity, mayi, and ultimately Krishna says, and me. Whenever people are envious of these things, sava asu vanasyati, very soon that person and their civilization shall be destroyed. Krishna says also in Bhagavad Gita, his purpose of coming, paritranaya sarunam vinashaya chaduskritam. Same word, vinasyati. Paritranaya, to protect the sadhus, the devotees, and to vinashaya chaduskritam, destroy, annihilate the demoniac tendency, the demoniac persons. And this is done, Prabhupada said in one lecture, they're already dead. And we have the demon and the devotee living within both of us. Living within us both. We were born, 99.9% of us, except for a few Brahmins, in the family of demons who celebrated this crazy independence from England. We became independent from England, and now we're dependent on Donald Trump. We don't want to get political, but can you imagine? It'd be better if we were dependent on Canada. The very nice president there, I forget his name, Trudeau. Is that his name? Very liberal, nice president. They even had one YouTube advertisement that they took the thread from a hat that said, "Make America Great Again." And instead they made their knit hat called "Welcome to Canada." Come and visit Canada. Doors are open. No walls in Canada. Same thread they used purposefully to make fun. So, paritranaya sarunam vinashaya chaduskritam. Krishna comes to destroy the demoniac. He spent his time destroying Denakasura and Vatsasura and so many demons. And he delivered the devotees. This is his business. So now Krishna is appearing again in the form of this Sankirtan movement, this ISKCON movement, Srila Prabhupada's movement, to destroy the demoniac and establish Brahminical culture, Krishna conscious culture. Such beautiful dress, clothing, such beautiful deity worship, amazing deity worship, such amazing prasadam. Even on Yelp, our Govinda's Los Angeles, it came up on my phone, receiving 4.5 stars out of 5. I don't know what the half was, but 4.5 out of 5 stars and 285 to date favorable reviews from the past few weeks. By giving wonderful prasadam, by presenting melodious and sweet kirtan, by showing them Srila Prabhupada's amazing, illustrious books. Such a vast array of amazing culture, especially for those that grow up cultureless. We were cultureless. I remember growing up thinking, what is American culture? I had traveled a little bit with my family overseas to some European places and Mideast places. And American culture, we had in Evanston, I said before, we had a mountain. It was made of trash in Evanston. I forgot, but I remembered later, they called it Mount Trashmore. Can you imagine? They're very proud. There's a great mountain called Mount Rushmore, but they're calling this mountain Mount Trashmore because more trash was being piled there, and everyone would come to play on Mount Trashmore, king of the hill and sliding down the hill. And I was trying to figure, what is the culture? In my days in Niles, Illinois, we lived 20 yards from Burger King and another 10 yards from this, I think it's called Big Boy or something, I don't know. Guy with the sandwich. That's the culture that we grew up in. I was thinking, this is my culture. When you travel around the world, American culture means the big boy and the king are there. And maybe a clown or some arches and some bozo. That's the American culture. Nothing, no substance in our culture. But this Vedic culture has so much substance and is so deep. Therefore, we have our mission to spread the culture of Krishna, to give cultural conquest. Just like these great leaders or the British went and conquered all over the world, or we have to conquer the world with cultural conquest, Krishna conscious culture, by presenting Srila Prabhupada's books, the deep, deep philosophy of Krishna consciousness. You can study your entire life and you don't have the whole message learned. Just study Srila Prabhupada's books our entire life, and we're learning something new every day. The works of Srila Prabhupada, his lectures, his morning walk conversations, and his books. So much is there. And Kirtan, who can deny the beauty of Krishna conscious chanting? Even there was some interview with George Harrison, and he said at one point that he was becoming tired of making up songs and doing these silly love songs when there's so many divine songs that have been sung for thousands of years. Krishna conscious songs, Vedic songs, he said. And you don't have to make anything up, you just sing them, chant them as they did thousands of years ago. Nowadays, sometimes some persons, so-called kirtaniers, go out and chant, and they say, here's a song that I composed. And they chant some mantra, even sometimes they're chanting Hare Krishna mantra, and say, I composed the mantra. One rascal was giving, I had been at this kirtan, and he says, here's a song I composed when I was stuck in a snowstorm in Three Rivers or Three Cities, Pennsylvania. And he started chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. And I was like, I was ready to stand up. 50 people in the yoga studio. You didn't compose that, rascal. That's from years and years. That's a Hare Krishna chant. That's ours. That's not, you didn't compose that. You didn't write the music or the words or anything. Rascal. They're taking credit for composing. Oh, I composed. The predecessor acharyas have composed bhajans. You cannot compose a bhajan. I cannot compose a bhajan. The predecessor acharyas have given us the chanting. Of course, there are no hard and fast rules for chanting, but we don't have to make up any new way of chanting. We have the tunes and the songs of the predecessor acharyas of our own spiritual master that he's given us. So beautiful. Everyone is being attracted nowadays. So many big personalities coming to kirtan and chanting Vedic songs, everywhere, all over the world. Some huge Japanese band just made a song on YouTube called Shanti Shanti. They're Japanese, but they studied a little bit Indian music, and they made one song that got so many millions of views about Shanti Shanti. Everyone is so attracted to Krishna conscious because real Shanti is there, real peace is there. Everyone is searching for peace, and they're talking about peace. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me. And meanwhile, I'm not even peaceful. But Bhagavad Gita teaches us what is peace. Bhoktaram jagatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram surinam sarvabhutanam gyatvamam shanti richati. Shanti richati. Real peace can be attained three processes. That knowing Krishna, Bhoktaram Jagatapasam, He's the enjoyer of all of our sacrifices. All of our work is meant for Krishna. Bhoktaram Jagatapasam, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, He's the proprietor of all planets. You don't have to build a wall to keep out this people or that people. We're building a wall. They want to build a wall in the south to keep out those people. Why don't you build a wall in the north to keep out the Canadians, those foreigners? Why isn't someone building? Why don't they make a big wall to keep out the Canucks? There's no wall. They'll build a wall to keep us out, maybe. But we want to build a wall, thinking this land is my land. Not thinking that Bhoktaram Jagata, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, that the land is Krishna's land, is all Krishna's land. We artificially put up borders and make so many rules and regulations. You can only stay here for 2 weeks in this country. You have to have so much money on you, and you have to have a purpose in coming. Otherwise, get out. You're not welcome. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suridam Sarvabhutanam. And the well-wishing friend, a real well-wishing friend, that isn't some politician, some rascal that's trying to go against the Vedic principles, the Brahminical principles. Our real well-wishing friend, that's Krishna. There within the heart of us all. Sarvasya chaham ridisani visto matak smitirgyanam apohanam cha. Vedanta krit veda videva chaham. He's in everyone's heart. He is the well-wishing friend of everyone. And when we know these three principles, this is the beauty of Vedic culture, Bhagavad Gita, then we can have real shanti. We can have real peace on earth. Otherwise, there'll never be peace. We'll go to war with this one, that one, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, who knows, Canada. Why not? They're making fun of us. It could happen. Therefore, our business is to take to this Brahminical Vedic culture and spread the Brahminical Vedic culture, Krishna conscious culture like anything. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga.